Okay. A short time ago, Redlands Police, with assistance from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office and their apparatus called a TAC CAT, made a breach of the subject's residence, which is next door to the Menards residence. We are using remote equipment to conduct a search currently. We have not yet located anyone inside. We don't know where the subject is. He may still be inside, or he may be somewhere else on the grounds. That's all I've got for you right now.
Is there somebody looking behind to see if maybe he escaped through the back way?
We have the area locked down. We're certain that he has not been able to escape from the area.
Was there any way of knowing that he actually wasn't there in the beginning when you started searching?
We were informed that he is inside the park.
So you were informed by someone during the investigation that he was somewhere inside, not necessarily inside his residence?
Not necessarily inside his residence. We were conducting an investigation this morning, just following up on the missing persons case, when we received information from a source that a subject who was involved in the couple's disappearance was in the park. So we immediately locked down the area and began an investigation to try to locate him and contact him. Currently, we have made entrance into his residence and are searching that using remote equipment.
Can you identify him? Do we know his age?
I don't have his name or age for you right now.
What about his relationship to the Menards?
He's their neighbor.
And he's your direct neighbor?
Right next door to the Menards, yes.
Okay, and kind of walk us through just what happened this morning, what time this all happened, and whether it was someone calling in from the resort or...
Yeah, I don't have exact times. Redlands Police were on scene this morning doing follow-up, conducting a follow-up search of the area, knocking on doors to contact residents, and we received a phone call from somebody with information who said that they knew who the subject was who was involved in the disappearance of Dan and Stephanie Menard. At that point, we locked down the area and we began an investigation door to door to try to contact him, find him and contact him. We are currently at his residence. We've breached the residence and are conducting a remote search.
And do you know if that person lives alone with his family, or if there were other people?
I believe that he lives alone.
Carl, do they think he's armed, and why do you believe this is a possibly foul play?
Well, the information as far as the possibly foul play is that we received information from somebody who said that he was involved in the disappearance of the Menards.
And what was it that police believed that this was a credible tip and that this was a credible source?
I can't speak to that. It's part of our investigation. As far as whether he's armed, we don't know.
And the couple has been missing now for several days. Do we know their condition or their location?
We don't know their location or their condition. We have had no contact with them. We've not located them. As you say, they've been missing. The last time they were seen was Saturday.
Was there any kind of cadaver dogs or any kind of things like that to possibly do a search for bodies?
We've had canines search the premises, including cadaver dogs.
Did witnesses say anything about the interaction between this guy and the Menards prior to this?
I can't comment on their interaction.
There was someone who told us they were just flashbangs.
I don't have any information about any kind of gunfire or flight. You mean recently? Like in the last? What they probably heard was the battering ram breaching the residence.
And then has there been any search in regards to property?
Other than the initial search on Sunday, I'm not aware of a search of their home. I I only heard part of your question.
The surveillance video that you guys have, can that corroborate this person that you guys are looking for right now?
What surveillance video are you referring to?
We're told that you guys have surveillance video and you narrowed it down to a 4-hour window. That's what we were told by management.
I can't confirm that.
Carl, I asked about the cadaver dogs and everything that brought in. Was anything found? Did
No.
they touch on anything?
No.
So what's the latest as far as a search for the missing couple and what has been found? Is the latest detail that their bodies found nearby?
The latest details that we have are that they were last seen alive on Saturday. They were reported missing on Sunday. Their car was found just down the street from their residence. We've had no information about their location since then, except that we have learned that a subject who was possibly involved in their disappearance is here on the site.
And what is it that foul play is a possibility? Is it just that the length of how long they were gone? Or can you talk a little bit about why it's a possibility?
The fact that they've been missing for several days, that we have information that there's a subject that was involved in their disappearance, is reason enough to investigate the possibility of foul play.
Do you guys believe that the Menards are still alive?
We don't know.
And why did they ram the home if they're unsure the suspect is inside or where the couple is?
I'm sorry, why did we breach the home?
Yeah.
We obtained a search warrant to try to locate and contact the suspect. That's his home. So he was not responding to our efforts to have him come out.
When you
So-
say he wasn't responding, does that mean you believe he was inside and that he was?
We don't know. There's a possibility he's inside. There's a possibility he's somewhere else on the property.
Do the Menards have any family?
They do.
And are they also living in the same area? Or they all
I don't know where their family lives. I know that the detectives have talked to family members since they were reported missing.
And then, Carl, can you just clear up some confusion with the location? We were in Redlands or Colton, and where is the missing city?
The Olivedale Ranch is actually located in the city of Redlands. It's in an area that you have to go through Riverside County and the city of Colton to get to it. I'm not sure why it's identified as the city of Colton, but it's in the city of Redlands and it's Redlands police jurisdiction.
Okay, so we're in the city of Redlands, and the investigation is taking place in Redlands.
I don't know if you're in the city of Redlands right now. I think this is Riverside County, but up the street is Redlands. Yeah.
And anything about their dog cuddles? Have you guys found them? Any indication that it's been close by?
No, we haven't located the couple or their dog. And we have no information about where they may be or what their condition is.
I forgot to ask, their vehicle was found about a half mile down the road. Do you know why that is? Do you think they drove down that way and were forced out of the vehicle?
I don't have that information right now. Okay? My name again is Carl Baker, Carl Baker, Public Information Officer for the City of Redlands and the Redlands Police Department. As I mentioned earlier this afternoon, let me back up. This morning, Redlands Police Department came out to Olivedale to continue the investigation into the missing couple, Dan and Stephanie Menard. While we were here, we received a phone call with information that a subject who was involved in their disappearance was on site, on scene. At that point, we locked down the property and began investigation and a search for the individual. Earlier this afternoon, using a TAC cat from the Riverside Sheriff's Department, we breached the suspect's home, which is next door to the missing couple's home, and using remote cameras, conducted a search of that home. We have not completed that search yet. We have not located anybody. We have not located the Menards. We have not located the subject. At this point, we're continuing the investigation.
You said you got a tip, a phone call, somebody called and said what?
Yes, we received a phone call. I'm not going to go into details, but they did indicate that an individual who was involved in the disappearance of the Menards was on the property.
At this point, do you have a motive for why he might be involved in all of
I can't discuss that.
It appears that the suspect might be a neighbor, though.
Yes.
So you aren't naming him as a suspect, are you?
Well, I didn't call him a suspect. He's a person of interest.
Are there other people implicated?
And not that I'm aware of at this time.
It'd be hard to move two bodies.
I'm sorry?
It'd be hard to move two bodies, right?
Well, I'm not aware that there are two bodies to be moved. And as I said, we haven't located anything.
Has anyone mentioned anything yet about like any potential neighbor disputes between the couple and the missing?
There's been information about various disputes. Whether that has anything to do with this, I don't know.
So what's your next step now?
Right now, we're continuing the search. We believe that he's still on the property.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Have you been in contact with any of the missing people's families?
The detectives have spoken to members of the couple's family.
And tell me, what are they saying?
I can't comment on that.
How big is the property up there?
Oh, I don't know.
10 acres?
Yeah, I couldn't even begin to guess. You could probably find something online, but
Are there people out still looking for the missing couple tonight as well?
that's part of our investigation. We're trying to find them as well as the subject.
Are there ponds or wells or anything up here?
Not that I'm
you've got
aware of.
people Checking.
I'm not aware of any ponds or wells,
Any
but
other
but there are
places?
quite a few residences, and so we are expanding our search to include the entire park.
Could you just describe your reaction to this effort to find these two individuals?
My reaction, I really don't want to. I don't want to provide my personal reaction to.
Why?
It's irrelevant.
Carl, how many other agencies are out there? Is it just
Riverside Sheriff's and the Redlands Fire Department. Earlier we had Riverside County CAL FIRE and American Medical Response Ambulance.
have you had dogs and all that type of stuff? Sniffing?
Earlier we had canines here. I don't believe that they're on the property right now.
Obviously, there's a lot of hillsides here. There are areas that are difficult to access for search and rescue crews too.
It's challenging, but we were out here on Sunday with a bloodhound and the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department helicopter, as well as our own Redlands Police Department drone. So we did a pretty thorough search of the surrounding area.
You said you thought the person of interest is still on the property.
Yes, we
You
do
think
believe
the
so.
couple is still on the property.
We don't know. We don't know where they are.
What's happening with the residents that are still currently there?
The residents in the immediate area of the subject's house were evacuated. Most of the residents are still in their homes.
Are they sheltering in
Evacuated to
place?
where?
type of-
Not all of them. I mean,
They're free to roam around.
yeah, As I say, we evacuated the area that was immediate to the subject's house.
The people who have been evacuated, where have they been placed?
I don't know the answer to that. I believe that they found their own shelter.
I just have one last question, just from what we've seen from helicopters on the search into the person of interest home. It looks like there was just so much stuff that was like falling out of it. Has it been hard to find that person if they are inside, because this home just looks like it's loaded with stuff?
But yeah, there was a lot of stuff in there, which certainly does complicate the search.
And what was the reasoning for the battering ram to go through?
We've made several attempts to contact the subject with no response, and so at that point we had a search warrant and we went into the home. And for the officer's safety, we used the battering ram and the remote cameras in order to conduct that search. Okay?
Could you just say kind of what you think for the next couple hours? We will probably be going live at 10 and 11.
I don't know what to. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I can come back down here in a couple hours. I might be doing the same thing and telling you there's no update.
So at this point, you're just going to be here on the property searching until you...
Yes, we anticipate that we will be here quite late.
Is there anything that you need the community to do?
Pray. And we still, if somebody has any information, if they've seen the couple or their dog, we still are looking for that kind of information.
And what about residents that are trying to get to their homes?
I believe the residents are being allowed in.
there's a long line of residents back here
Oh,
that they can't get through.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that information.
So what should they do at this point? Just find somewhere else to go?
If they're not being allowed in, then yeah, they would need to find somewhere else to go.
For how long?
I don't know.
Thank you, Carl.
Okay.